It's the Joe Show.
It's the Joe Show!
With me, Joe. It's Wednesday, which means it's Window Wandering Wednesday, where we open up windows looking out all over the world, where we read some headlines, get caught up on the latest news from around the globe. But generally it's tech news, but you know it'll be fun regardless, because it's me. Open a new window to the world, make it a big screen. Here we go, Montreal, Quebec, what do you got for us? Here's a window. That's about all I can say from this. It is a window. They have even some sort of like, okay, that's got to be a canopy or like a covering on top. I thought it was the reflection of water going against it, but actually I think it's the sun and the leaves blowing. There's some trees above it. This is a very green window, a view out into their balcony, lots of decoration on it. Seems pretty comfortable. Seems like a laid back place. Seems kind of hippie if I were to say something about it. So Montreal, Quebec, the one thing I will say about Montreal is it looks like they have doors very similar to the ones that we have here in Germany, but not like American doors whatsoever. American doors are normal sliding doors for balconies or open doors, but this one, I bet you can have a third feature where you can tilt it open and then you can get a little crack in the door for some fresh air. But let's hop onto this newsletter and see what sort of stories we got for today. Here we go. Amazon announces a new cloud gaming service called Luna. Amazon has announced a new cloud gaming platform called Luna. News of the service has been rumored since last year. It will be initially available on PC, Mac, and via web apps. Users in the US can request early access with an introductory price of $5.99 a month. The service offers subscribers the ability to play Luna Plus channel games on two devices simultaneously. 4K 60 frames per second resolution will be available for select titles. Luna will feature Twitch integration. Amazon has also announced its own Alexa-enabled Luna controller, which will cost $49.99. Over 100 titles will be available at launch, and Amazon has partnered with Ubisoft for content. I wonder actually what type of games are going to be totally available on this platform. I come from a gaming background. I still like playing games, but I'm not sure what exactly Amazon has in store here. I think it's very interesting that they're undercutting the market with this cloud gaming service. I'm sure it's streaming with only $5.99 a month. I mean, that's probably like 5 years of a PlayStation 3 if you or 3 Jesus 5 PlayStation 5 if you buy a PlayStation 5. So it's an interesting move from Amazon, who already moved into the gaming space when they bought Twitch. The fact that they also have a Alexa enabled controller, I don't know, makes it feel a little weird, like they're listening in on your gaming habits, and then they're gonna somehow upsell you on, like, I don't know, energy drinks or some crap on Amazon. Man, Amazon's just getting too big. I feel like there's got to be some sort of regulation that steps in and breaks them up with everything. Just everything they're doing. It's insane. Ring's latest security camera is a drone that flies around inside your house. Ring's new Always Home Cam is an autonomous drone that can fly around to view any room inside a home. It can automatically return to its dock to recharge when the drone is flying. The Always Home Cam will be available next year for $250. During its setup, users build a map with paths for the device to follow. The camera only records when it is in flight, as the charging dock blocks its view. The drone makes an audible noise when flying, so people know when it is around. An official 30-second advertisement for the home is available now. I believe Ring is also owned by Amazon, so now they have a view inside your house as well as listening in your house, so they can correlate the Amazon Echo with the drone footage. I don't know, man. Amazon seems super invasive now. It's incredible the type of thing that we're allowing into our home. Like this, their surveillance that Amazon has on us and the data points that they can connect between all of their different platforms and all of their different services. I think it rivals Facebook in the amount of data they can collect on you and then use for whatever they want, use for whatever type of bidding that they want. This is... It's kind of scary, actually, like a drone that flies around your house that's surveilling you without your knowledge. I mean, you're agreeing to it, but there's been so many stories of these types of technologies doing things that the company said that they wouldn't be doing, and then they actually are doing it. So I don't know, this seems like another way to Amazon Trojan Horse into your home and collect more data on you to then sell you more stuff that you don't need, or propagate into some sort of personality profile about you to then sell to the highest bidder. Like, whew, Jesus. We got a drone camera flying around your house. We got a gaming platform listening to your voice. We got Amazon Alexa listening to your voice, connected to your smart fridge, connected to your lights, connected to everything in your home. We've got a drone delivery platform coming from Amazon where they drop off packages via drone. We got automatic cars driving around, and we've got these computers pretty much in our back pocket all the time, plugged into our brains. We're living in a crazy, crazy time in 2020, and people don't even realize it. Let's grab a new window and see what else we got in store here now that we've moved away from Amazon's Terminator vibe, Skynet vibe over here. Ithica, New York. Background window here. We got a picnic table with some flowers on it, red flowers. We got a window that's open up and some lights. Seems like a long yard with some sort of, I don't know, what somebody is moving the camera. Dude, you guys can't move the camera. It's supposed to be stationary so that we can just view your backyard and enjoy it. And is that a guest house in the back, or is that somebody else's home? I'm not really sure. But yeah, there's a string in the front yard for, obviously, it's a tripwire that activates an explosion for when there are intruders, because in America you have intruders that come around all the time. If you didn't know, if Donald Trump doesn't win the presidency, they're going to invade your neighborhood. What that actually means, nobody knows. Another headline here. Scientists devise a Trojan horse approach to kill cancer cells without using drugs. Cool. I love it. Let's kill cancer cells. Anything that kills cancer is good in my book. A research team at the Nanyang Technical University in Singapore has killed cancer, just murdered it, taken it out, assassinated the cancer. In mice, using a new approach that turns a nanoparticle into a Trojan horse. A couple weeks ago, I discussed how they're using gold nanoparticles inside of cancer cells to kill the cancer, so I'm curious what they have here. The researchers coated a silica nanoparticle with L-phenolphthalein, an amino acid that cancer cells rely on. When cancer cells absorb the compound, they self-destruct. The technique was used in lab tests with mice to kill cancer cells effectively while remaining harmless to healthy cells. Further research will refine the design and chemistry of the nanoparticle to make it more precise in targeting specific cancer types and achieving higher therapeutic efficiency. This is great news because, as we know, cancer, one of the most deadly diseases, one of the most annoying diseases, can keep coming back. It is when cell growth gets out of control and starts growing at a rate at which it can't stop, and then just consumes everything around it and completely destroys the cells by turning them into cancer cells that are just growing, so they can't continue on their normal operation of being your kidney or being your skin or whatever it is. And so we've been in a decades-long fight here with cancer, and it sounds like these researchers in Singapore have found a nice way of dealing potentially therapeutically with cancer. If you can catch it early enough, get the nanoparticles in there and take them out. This is incredible news. Good to hear out of Singapore. Well done. I'm for it. Let's kill this cancer with gold and with nanoparticles. With gold. Shout out to Austin Powers, gold member. Next, the ISS successfully dodges, quote, unknown piece of space debris. On Tuesday at precisely 2:19 p.m. Pacific time, the International Space Station had to perform a last-minute avoidance maneuver to dodge an unknown piece of space debris. The Russian Progress resupply spacecraft docked to the ISS was used to help move the station out of harm's way. NASA estimates that avoidance maneuvers are performed about once a year on average. More space debris has been detected recently, with 3 avoidance maneuvers performed in 2020. Wow. 3. NASA called Chief Jim Bridenstine has called for the government to fund efforts to remove space orbital junk. Reminds me of a great song from Wolfgang Gartner, EDM producer, called Space Junk. Classic. Look it up. It's a good one. I'm not going to try to like mimic the sound because it's like... don't know how that applies to Space Junk, but that's the name of the song, Space Junk. Sounds like a new startup that can be funded. Space Junk Removal, LLC. Got to fly up there and remove the junk, blast it away with lasers. I don't know, makes me also think of Space Invaders, just blasting away space. Or I think actually in Math Blaster, you're using math to blast space junk. Somebody fact check me on that, but I'm fairly positive. In the early 90s, there was a game called Math Blaster that taught you math on the computer, and you had to input the correct answer to blast space junk out of the way. Let's get Math Blaster on this. Save the International Space Station. 2 + 2 = 8. Let's grab a new window here while I open up another newsletter because we're out of headlines from that one. Ooh, we got a window here in Pok Yong Estate, Hong Kong. Is this like a huge estate? Does royalty live there? What is the Pok Yong Estate in Hong Kong? Also, for being an estate, I expected it to be a much higher window and have a much nicer view. But right here, we got like a plant. Maybe it's growing some fruit on it. I'm not really positive. But it's voluptuous VST Ford Ventilers window. Seems like they have a nice walkway and a nice garden type area outside. I don't know what you would call it. But yeah, so this is an estate in Hong Kong. Let's new headline here. Tesla's full self-driving autopilot beta coming in a month or so. Elon Musk announced that Tesla will release a private beta of the full self-driving version of its autopilot software in the coming months. Musk is currently driving a bleeding-edge alpha build of the autopilot. Tesla engineers had to overhaul major parts of the autopilot, even changing how the system sees the world. The system now labels 3D video rather than 2D images, taking information from all 8 of its cameras simultaneously. It's coming soon, full self-driving version. Musk already in an alpha build of this. We all know that self-driving is coming. It's not a matter of if it'll come, but a matter of when it will come. Good to see that Tesla's still pushing things forward as far as self-driving goes. I haven't really heard any updates from places like Cruise, but there's still lots and lots of people working on the problem, and it'll come eventually, and that's awesome because I really hate driving. I'm not a driving fan. Some of my friends are driving fans. I am not a driving fan. Don't need a car, could do without it. Don't need the carbon emissions, I fall asleep in cars. Cars just, I don't know, something about being in a car makes me so comfortable within the first 10 minutes that I fall asleep for at least 20 minutes. And it's so bad when you're driving. You can't be falling asleep at the wheel. Don't do it. I would always pull over to the side of the road and I would take a nap. So if you get drowsy, pull over to the side of the road, take it 15 minutes, and then hit the road with a vengeance. Next up, we've got the inside story of how Signal became the private messaging app for an age of fear and distrust. Signal is an end-to-end encrypted messaging service owned and operated by a non-profit foundation. I have a Signal account. I prefer Telegram to Signal, and Telegram comes with its own challenges as they are slightly linked to Russia, but they promise that they do not work with the Russian government and that your chats are end-to-end encrypted. Had a brain fart. Signal has a wide-ranging security protection, like it's endorsed by figures such as Edward Snowden, who use the app every day. People have been increasingly using Signal as trust in authorities continues to decline. It has been used extensively during the recent U.S. protests and in Hong Kong after China imposed a controversial national security law. Signal's privacy features include tools to blur people's faces out of photos, servers that don't store user information, encrypted phone calls, and more. The app has not been popular with the authorities, who aren't able to demand that the service turn over information as the service doesn't retain any. This article follows Signal's story so far, exploring how the app was developed with privacy in mind and how it continues to maintain its stance despite governmental pressure. You know, I originally moved over to Telegram because of security concerns, and maybe I'll navigate all of my friends over to Telegram or Signal now 2 years later, because I just don't trust people either. With Facebook's data leaks and Instagram treating you like a statistic, and all of these sources just playing us like puppets with propaganda. I hate it. So I might move over to Signal, and if you'd like to, you can join me there. I did link to the article in the description below, and you can always check out Signal in the App Store and sign up and chat with me on Signal. I'm going to open up a new window here before we grab some more stories. This is from Vijbestrand, Sweden. Vijbestrand? I don't know. I don't even know how to do a Swedish accent. Seems like a fish-eyed window here. We got a barn window. It seems like lovely day outside, blue skies, red barn, classic look over here in Sweden. I wonder if somebody is, what are the Swiss famous word? Milk? Cows? Something like that? Somebody's got a cow? Somebody milking a cow? Swedish meatballs? Is that sweet? Yeah, Swedish. Yeah, Sweden. Yep. Swedish meatballs. IKEA. Next story. Dream shaping tech from MIT channels suggestions into your dream. Oh, that's hilarious that this is now being covered here. Dormio. I covered this actually on my show a couple months ago. Dormio is a device that can actually induce a hypnagogic state so that you can influence your dreams and dream about things that you want to dream about. You can check it out in my Technology Tuesday series. It's in there. Just look up Dreaming and the Joe Show, or Dreaming and GoGo Joe Show, and you'll find it. Dynamic tattoos promise to warn wearers of health threats. What's a dynamic tattoo? Nanotech tattoos have been developed over the past few years. They can signal changes in a person's biochemistry, warn wearers of radiation exposure, or detect the presence of UV light. Ah, yes, I've seen this. A tattoo that warns users to wear skin protection if there's too much UV light uses a UV-activated dye inside of a plastic nanocapsule. The nanocapsule is required to keep the body from cleaning out the ink. After they are applied, the tattoos are invisible until they are exposed to UV rays, at which point they turn blue. That's very cool. I'd like to get that so I can know when to when I can apply the sun protection. As a bald guy and a fair-skinned person, it's very important that I sun protect, and I don't do it as often as I should. The scientists are also working on temperature-sensitive inks to use as thermometers. Wearable temporary electronic tattoos can be used for sensing electrophysical signals, as well as for controlling mobile devices. They are much less permanent than traditional tattoos, but they can use battery-powered electronics. That's pretty cool. I wonder what that looks like. Little is known about the safety of normal tattoo inks, as the FDA doesn't regulate them. More research is needed to understand long-term effects on your skin. I like that we're now turning tattoos, this nice medium of art, into something even more useful and more cool that allows us to interact with the world around us. Pretty rad. Let's grab a new window here. Ooh, we got London, UK, little succulent cactus here in the window with a nice red brick building and brown brick building mix in the background. Somebody's also got some satellite TV. You got a blue, some sort of compact car out front. And it seems like this is a handheld window as somebody is shaking, but we'll let it happen. Ooh, we just got a runner in blue shoes that totally overtook this red shirt walker over here. If I was putting money down, I'd go with the blue shoe runner instead of the red shirt walker. Last headline here, and then we'll call it a day. Surgery, a story that I'm particularly interested in. Apple versus Epic hearing previews a long, hard trial to come. Epic Games, maker of Fortnite, requested for a temporary injunction in its case against Apple that was heard recently. The case centers around Epic's contention that Apple's control over the iOS App Store constitutes an illegal monopoly that hinders competition. Apple argued that iOS is just one of many platforms available for Fortnite, so there's no monopoly. Other competing platforms charge the same 30% fee that Apple charges. Players who aren't able to play Fortnite on iOS can still play on other platforms, though they might not have the means to do so. Epic argues that even if Apple is allowed to maintain control of its App Store, it should allow developers to make and use their own payment systems. Apps like Uber can charge customers without using the in-app purchase system, and Epic wants the same opportunity for its games. That's a really good point. Epic was reprimanded for the actions that led to the court case, as the company deliberately broke its agreement with Apple by implementing external payment sources. Interesting to find out, I didn't realize that Uber had somehow permission to go around Apple's tariff that they charge all of the apps on its App Store. And also, I do know that Spotify has joined in with Epic in fighting against Apple. I didn't know these specifics that were going on with a little bit of back and forth. I like Epic's point about Uber, though. I think that's really interesting, and I didn't know about that. One more important story here from Elon Musk and IPOs. It's a stock market offering, so you can get shares in a company. SpaceX and Starlink. Elon Musk plans to list Starlink on the market in several years when revenue growth is smooth and predictable. Starlink is an important new revenue stream for SpaceX. It is racing to offer broadband internet commercially by the end of 2020, meaning internet provided by the stars, aka satellites. Musk tweeted that he would give a small retail investors top priority in the initial public offering, which means normal people can actually get in on the action. I think it's great that Elon Musk is making that offer to people, as that way it helps divest the convergence of wealth with the top spenders in the stock market, who are generally older white men. This window's on a loop. We got red guy overtook by blue shoes again. We win every time. What a great bet when you have a loop. That way you can bet on the winner because you know it's coming. It's like we can predict it. Blue shoes for the win. And we can also predict that Starlink and Elon Musk will probably be a pretty decent investment when it comes out, as he's waiting for stable revenue growth. That's been today's Window Show with me, Joe, here on the GoGo Joe Show. If you got something cool for me, you can send it to hijoeshow@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram at a Joe Show, on Twitter at Cannoli Natoli. Until next time, look out the window and find something good, because I love you.